Jess, you want to share what happened that day?
Yeah.
October 24th, 2014.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the day. Coming up on 2 years. So
Yes.
soon. So I actually had been doing some work in active conflict zones in Africa and went through a rough period of war for about 3 weeks where when I ended up coming home, I had post-traumatic stress disorder. It started out just kind of mild, having nightmares, and then pretty soon grew into very vivid nightmares, hearing voices, hearing screams. I was having panic attacks, anxiety, became suicidal, and just completely lost control of my life, in all ways. And so that's when the Lord actually brought me out to Bethel. And while I was out here, I had a friend. I still love this story. I was asleep on the couch, completely battling depression, completely riddled with anxiety, struggling to even go to class every day. And I had a friend wake me up and say, I had a dream and you have to go to Destiny House. And so I had started going to Destiny House at first just to have a couple of hours where I was in worship and felt free from my anxiety. And one particular Friday morning, Katharina came over to me and she had felt like the Lord had told her to dance over me. If you've ever had anxiety, that is the worst idea you could ever possibly have, is put someone with anxiety on the spot. But she did it anyway, thank God. And she moved me to the middle, and I just kind of sat there waiting for it to hurry up and be over. And in the middle of her dancing over me, I began to just encounter God in a way that I felt physical weights falling off of my shoulders. I began to just weep, and I hadn't been able to cry in weeks and weeks and weeks. And so 8 months of battling PTSD, going to 3 different therapists, and it was all fixed in one moment of Katharina being obedient to dance over me. I've never had another nightmare from war trauma. I've never had another anxiety attack. I don't battle any type of depression, suicidal thoughts. All traces of PTSD were just eradicated that day. So, thanks.
That's amazing what God did, literally right in this floor, right in this spot. And I want to hear Katharina's version of this, because that was the first time I think you ever danced over anyone. And so what was going on with you at that moment?
Yeah, I just really got an impression from the Lord to put this unknown girl, Jessika, in the middle of the room and just move, like Holy Spirit was moving and behind closed eyes, and I just did and followed what he was doing basically. And obviously you could see that she was really touched, weeping on the floor, and I just, in the end when it all finished up, I just laid hands on her and prayed for her and tried to ask her a question, but she wouldn't really answer, and so I just left her off to the Lord really, and then went to my own encounter really.
And so the beautiful thing is, by someone saying yes to doing something she'd never done before because she felt the Holy Spirit calling her to love somebody, this one has been set free. And now I don't know how many people have been impacted by your life since then. I know before then as well, but it's beautiful. She's a different Jessika than when I met her.
Very different.
Very different.
Very different.
It's night and
Very
day.
different, yeah.
And now she's preaching and she's writing books and going to change the world, and already is. And so it's just beautiful what happens. And so I'm excited for you watching to receive just some of the presence of the Lord and healing and setting people free. And so just receive, just soak with us and worship with us. And we just welcome you into our home, into our family, in this place, just to be yourself and get ready to encounter God.